Tim is taking care of it. Yes, sir. Sorry, I was on the phone with Tim.
Good afternoon and welcome to your 4 to 5. I'm Lauren Coleman here with Eric Chilton, Jalen Gilkey, and Maddie Gardner. Welcome back.
Yeah.
I was just telling them before the open ran, like, thanks for letting me come back, guys. I was on vacation last week and I was wondering, you voted? And
we took a vote. We took a vote. I was the only nay. It's
He
fine.
said no.
I'm glad you were overruled. I'm glad you're joining us today,
It's a democracy.
too. Hey, we are live on Facebook right now. I was just checking the live stream. We already have some of the regulars there.
Oh,
Always.
yay.
Every day. Every day. So join us. We'll have fun doing that, and we've got lots to talk about today.
In the meantime, let's go ahead and turn to the headlines. We have a lot to get to in the 4 to 5 roundup this Monday afternoon. It was a violent weekend in Winston-Salem. 3 people are dead in 3 separate shootings. Now police are pleading with the community to come forward with any information about the crimes. The first shooting happened late Friday night and killed 22-year-old Tristan Gadberry. Police arrested 1 person in that case. Not long after that, someone shot and killed 29-year-old Tyreek Keith. A 17, 18, and 19-year-old were also hurt in that shooting. The third shooting happened at a house party on Saturday. 31-year-old Dyrez Shannon died. Investigators say 100 people were at that house party and know what happened. WFMI News 2's Aduria Chumba will have more on these shootings at 5 and 6. Police arrested someone for driving into a crowd in Minneapolis, killing a woman and hurting another person. Last night, police were monitoring a protest when they saw a car drive into a group of protesters. Officers think the driver may have been using drugs or alcohol. The group was marching for Winston Smith, a man shot and killed by law enforcement earlier this month. President Joe Biden's 8-day trip to Europe continues. He is now off to the NATO summit in Brussels after completing time at the G7 summit in Cornwall, England. Today, he met with NATO's Secretary General and the President of Turkey. Tomorrow, Biden meets with Russia's President Vladimir Putin in Geneva. And another COVID-19 vaccine could hit the market soon. Novavax, a company based in Maryland, says its shot is 90% effective at preventing people from getting sick. Novavax says their version of the vaccine is easier to store and requires 2 shots. Now they will ask for permission to use the vaccine and will target low and middle income countries with its shots.
So where does North Carolina stand when it comes to COVID-19 now? The State Department of Health and Human Services updated the numbers just a few hours ago and included all the weekend data. So today, labs confirmed just 284 new cases. The percent positive ticked up just a bit, but still remained steady at 2.4%. That's well below the state's 5% goal. Hospitalizations dropped again, with 480 people now fighting the virus in state hospitals. Now, when it comes to vaccinations, 51% of North Carolina adults are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. And today marks 6 months since North Carolina first administered a COVID-19 vaccine. Atrium Health in Charlotte administered the state's first vaccine. Dr. Katie Passaretti was the first North Carolinian to get the shot. She's the healthcare system's chief of infection prevention. And soon after, essential workers, including those in healthcare, and people 75 years and older across the triad started getting vaccinated. And as more people get vaccinated, more businesses are returning to pre-pandemic activities. For the White Oak Amphitheater, that means more concerts and shows. This morning, they announced comedian Trevor Noah is coming back to Greensboro. His Back to Abnormal tour stops in Greensboro Friday, September 24th. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 18th.
Today was the first day of summer school for Guilford County Schools, and this year's program is a little bit different than years past. Students have dozens of options this summer. There are credit recovery courses and enrichment camps to help them get ahead, or some courses that offer students a chance to make up low grades from the school year. The in-person full-day programs will also incorporate social and emotional components after a year when many students learned on their own at home.
The expectation is not that all that has been lost will be regained immediately, but that students are in a much better place, that they're getting used to just being in school and being full-time students again.
And more than 15,000 students enrolled in summer school this year. Federal money is helping to pay for it. Students who rely on schools for breakfast and lunch will still be able to get help this summer. Both Winston-Salem Forsyth County and Guilford County Schools are offering meal pickups. To find the location, you can text the word meals to 336-379-5775. And don't miss this, the city of Greensboro will soon offer another option for kids' activities. The Parks and Rec free summer playground program, Energy at the Park, kicks off on June 21st. It will run at 5 city parks Mondays through Thursdays from 10 until 2. Rising first graders through 15-year-olds can participate in supervised sports, games, crafts, and free lunch.
And check this out. North Carolina ranked number 18 on WalletHub's list of the most fun states to visit.
I can't argue with that. But to come up with the ranking, they compared the states in everything from movie costs to accessibility of national parks, even casinos per capita.
Our state ranked 9th for fitness centers, 10th for golf courses and country clubs, 13th for amusement parks, and 15th for movie theaters per capita.
It is interesting how they came up with those rankings. I think that North Carolina is a very fun place to be. We have cities, we have mountains, we have beaches, so many places to go and things to do. And especially now that things are opening back up, it's getting a lot more fun, right?
That's what everybody that moves here, because some of us that are from here take it for granted, I guess, but they always say, I love the fact that we're 2.5 hours from some good mountains and then 3.5 from beaches. It's really nice.
We definitely get the best of both worlds here. And I love all the restaurants here. Everywhere I go and every weekend, somebody's like, you got to try this place, you got to try that place. I don't know how I'm going to get to them all.
Yeah, you need to go to Asheville. I know we've talked about this.
That's on my list.
That needs to be on your list soon
this year.
It's beautiful in the fall.
Sure is. And they even do, have you ever seen the drum squares they do? So all these people that play different types of percussion come out and get in these drum circles, or drum squares they'll call them, depending on how they set up. And it is the coolest thing. And they all just freeform and do some live music, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
You got to check that out since you haven't seen that.
So much to do.
So much to do, so little time. Let's take a look at the forecast to see what we're talking about here with temperatures for the most part. Yeah, we're hot today, aren't we? We've been in the upper 80s, 88 degrees for where we are, at least right now. That was what we called for a high temperature today. We'll see where we end up. I know we're at least going to see that, because that's where we stand right now. Thunderstorm was moving down through southern Virginia. It went just to the west of Martinsville and headed down. Now it's starting to lose a little bit of steam. Still a decent amount of shower activity. That's going across Summerfield around that Interstate 73 and Highway 158 intersection. Lightning has died down a good bit, but we still see some heavier showers up to the north and west of that area. Forbush down to Yadkinville, that region, Highway 601, if you have to be heading up north from Yadkinville towards Surrey County, we see that shower as well. There is some lightning associated with that one as well. Most of the thunderstorm warnings, that's Charlotte and down into the upstate of South Carolina. So we're not seeing the majority of that. Could we still see that? Yes, absolutely. Heading into the night, it is a slight chance. All right, let's look off the coast for a minute. We haven't talked about this in a while, have we? Look at that. This is a visible satellite, clearly defined eye in the center of circulation there. We do have a tropical system. It's Tropical Depression 2. The wind's only 35 miles per hour, moving northeast at 21. This one heading out in the middle of nowhere, but it is forecast to become a tropical storm. So we'll watch that. Something to talk about, right? Tonight, overnight low 66 degrees, mostly clear. By the way, that tropical storm obviously not affecting our coastline at all. High temperatures tomorrow, 84. It'll be less humid and more comfortable as well. Here's your 7-day outlook with mid-80s tomorrow. We're taking rain chances out through the rest of the work week and into Saturday. How about that? Temperatures a little bit all over the place though. 83 Wednesday, Thursday, 89 Friday, low 90s by the first half of the weekend. You know, if you're a country music fan in the Triad, then the name Angie Ward is probably a household name for you. She is getting some well-deserved recognition these days. I spoke with her about her big honor that's coming up. Here's part of our conversation about getting inducted into the Country Music Radio Hall of Fame. So Angie, thanks for taking time out. Man, you are one busy person, but you and I go back 20 plus years. This is such a great honor for you. Tell me about when you found out about this award.
You know what, we were at a cookout, me and all my coworkers at my boss's house. It was really nice. My two big bosses took me outside, said they needed me to help move some furniture. And I'm like, well, all these guys around here, you need me to help move furniture? And then when I walked out the door, they popped the champagne and told me that I was headed into the Hall of Fame.
I mean, this is something that country music DJs across the country, you live for this, and most people say, well, most of us aren't going to make it. And here you are. What does this mean to you?
You know what, you and I do go way back, and you remember our good friend Paul Franklin, who was on Q104 way back in the day. And for me, I feel like I have done this for him, honestly. He is the man who taught me everything I know about radio, and I just hope that he's proud that I finally made it into the Hall of Fame for us.
You know, and for those of you that don't know, Angie's talking about a legend in this market in country music radio. When you look back on your career and you could go back and talk to that girl that was starting out her career decades ago, what would you say to her?
I would tell her to chill out, relax, and enjoy things a little bit more. There have been so many moments in my career where I was really stressed out, worried if I was doing the right thing or not. You know, just let go and enjoy life.
Well, we can't wait to hear and see all this hoopla coming up in October. Congratulations, Angie. Nobody deserves it more than you.
Thank you. And I love all the listeners in Q Country. If it weren't for them hanging out with me every day, this would have never happened. So thank you.
Yeah, well deserved. She's something else. All right, so I asked you on Facebook talking about country music. Who do you think is the best country music performer of all time? Here's what you had to say. A lot of opinions on this one. Sandra said Alan Jackson, best songwriter and singer, period. Megan said Garth Brooks, wonderful song, great performer. I can second that. I've seen him in concert twice. Rob Compton said Merle Haggard and George Jones, they set the bar very high as artists. Many who followed were just imitating. Cynthia Higgs said Charlie Pride, Conway Twitty, Merle Haggard, Kenny Rogers, Loretta Lynn, Tammy Wynette, Dottie West, Dolly, and Reba. Kathy said Kenny Rogers, Garth Brooks, and Elvis when he sang country. She said Elvis could sing anything. Tammy says George Jones, Vern Gosdin, Conway Twitty, Merle Haggard, Keith Whitley, and George Strait. So lots of, and by the way, in about an hour's time of me posting this, I had 134 comments.
Wow.
So we
have some country music fans out there.
Seriously.
Very cool that Angie Ward is going to be inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame. That is awesome stuff. As far as artists go, I mean, definitely Dolly Parton and Reba. And y'all, I grew up 90s country, so like Shania Twain. Yeah. I know she's like country
crossover,
pop, but
yeah, that's perfect.
She's the diva.
What about you, Lauren?
I'm not too much of a country follower, but I do like Miley Cyrus when she was doing some of her country stuff. The Climb, that is a good song.
I remember that one.
Me personally, I'm
waiting.
I'm right there with you, Lauren.
But did you notice
But
how
check
you
this
said
out.
Lauren on the
I know, I was like,
I set her up.
I thought you were gonna go.
But check me out. So back in my baseball days, we always had a nice little warm-up playlist. Favorite tracks off of that? Boot Scootin' Boogie
Yeah, for sure.
and Wagon Wheel.
Oh yeah,
Oh, Wagon
Yeah,
Wheel.
so
Old Crow Medicine Show,
That's
Wagon
right.
Wheel, or Darius Rucker Wagon?
Well, we had the Darius Rucker edition, but I did hear the older rendition as well. But I am a fan of the Darius Rucker version a little bit better.
Good old Hootie and the Blowfish.
We have more to say, but we don't have time. But you can talk to us on Facebook
right.
about it. Jay Eames is queued up on Facebook with lots of jokes, he said.
He's on fire. He's on
Yep.
fire.
He said he's ready. We'll see you there.
All right, I am talking about writing and how it helps with that grieving process.
We are following breaking news out of Winston-Salem, where police say someone fired shots into their District 1 office. The suspect is now in custody after exchanging gunfire with police. Police say they found him at the Haynes Park area. This is a developing story, and as soon as we learn more, we'll update you both on air and online at WFNYnews2.com.
The talk host and Broadway star Amanda Kloots has written a new memoir. It's called Live Your Life, My Story of Loving and Losing Nick Cordero. Amanda's husband, Broadway actor Nick Cordero, died from COVID-19 last July. Amanda started writing to process her grief. That resulted in a memoir that she co-authored with her sister, which will be released tomorrow. So this is what Blanca Cobb and I are talking about today, ways writing can help process your emotions and grief. So Blanca, let's get right into it. How does writing help you process your emotions?
It's a cathartic process. This is a safe place, a private time for you to really just write how you're feeling, what your thoughts are. Perhaps they're feelings you don't even understand yet, or you don't want to share with someone. It's almost as if it's a map to a buried treasure of your emotions, because as soon as you uncover one, it leads to more emotions that you can explore in your writing and the situation that brought it up.
Okay, so how about this one? How can writing about your emotions help you to understand yourself?
When you're writing, you can start seeing patterns in your writing of what's important, of what's still worrying you, of what's still a mystery that you don't understand, and even things that you do understand. And so what it does is when you're noticing these patterns in your writing, then you can even dive deeper into that situation, into those feelings in order to explore it more.
Okay, so we're talking about our emotions here. How do you monitor your healing through your writing?
Well, through your writing, what you're going to be able to do is see your progress over time. So you're going to see that you're emotional, if you're healing, if it's going up, if it falls down, if it's still moving up. And so these highs and lows in that healing, you can continue to explore once again. For some people, it helps reach some level of closure. For other people, it helps them make sense of something that doesn't make sense to them at all.
Okay, great insight here. Writing, something we can all do a little more of. Thanks so much for joining us, Blanca. And if you know someone who needs these tips, you'll be able to find and share them from our website, WFNYnews2.com.
It is hot out there, that's for sure. We're watching temperatures in some cases. Some areas are seeing close to 90 or above. Look at the current readings with 91 in High Point. There you go. 89 in Burlington, 88 in Greensboro, 89 in Winston-Salem. These will probably be within a degree or two of what our high temperature will be registered for the day. You can tell who's had the rain and who hasn't. Look at Reidsville, 77 degrees, 76 in Walnut Cove, but then we jump to that 88 and 91 for Greensboro High Point. Asheboro at 87, Lexington 89. Overnight lows tonight dropping down to 66. We'll see an isolated evening storm, but otherwise mostly clear skies for most of us out there. 84 tomorrow. Notice a drop in the high temperature, plus the better news, lower humidities. That will be for tomorrow, and we're all excited about that. It is kind of just a mix of sun and clouds, though, for your Tuesday. A couple of thunderstorms here. We've seen this one sort of fall apart, but it's still an area of rain that's moving through Summerfield and now starting to head into northern parts of Greensboro. And then this one has actually picked up a little bit in strength. That's around the Yadkinville area, around 421 and 601 interchange there, heading north up to Forbush. We'll keep an eye on all of these. They are very widely scattered and hit or miss. And you can see as far as thunderstorm warnings are concerned, you have to go down towards Charlotte and the upstate of South Carolina really to see that. We mentioned this tropical system, or what's left of it. It could be a tropical storm by tomorrow. It is moving away from us, so it will not affect our coastline at all, and that is good news. But again, by tomorrow afternoon, that could be a tropical storm. Forecast for us, though, long term, you're looking at a little up and down with some temperatures, 83, 84 next 3 days, but rain chances are pretty much out. Friday, sunny and 89. We'll top out at 91 for Saturday, back down to 88 on Sunday.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. All right, we have a couple of things going on behind me that all have something in common.
Yeah, they're all inventions that make our lives easier.
That's right. They help us get things done fast, but sometimes that can be a problem.
Yep, and Coach Lamont is here today to remind us to avoid having a microwave mindset.
The microwave, one of the greatest inventions of all time. And the reason is because it allows us to have something quickly. But it also created a mindset that hinders many of us today. A mindset that says when we want something, we want it immediately. This mindset declares war on a fruit of the Spirit within all of us called patience. Because we feel we can have something immediately or things are not moving fast enough for us, we lose heart and simply give up. Life does not work this way. Some things are going to take time and are not immediate. At that time, you have to tap into a place called patience, and you just have to wait and expect. It's not easy, but it's worthwhile. Don't give up and don't quit. Just wait. Wait on the promise your life has shown you. Wait on the goal to unfold. It's coming, I promise you. This is Coach Lamont reminding you to have your best you day. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, so my wife gets on to me all the time about this because she says I don't know how to relax, which is true. I'm the first to admit this. So we tend to, on Saturday or Sunday morning, we'll sit on the back porch, have a cup of coffee, and just kind of talk through, we call it a calendar sync, but really it's for us to talk again. But we look at the calendar and see what kind of stuff's coming up. The other day she goes, I want you to be quiet and just listen to the wind and the trees and the birds. And I was like, okay. It was the most difficult thing for me to shut up for 10 minutes.
Wow.
It's so funny to hear you say that because Chilton's always the one who's telling me to chill out. He's like, Maddie, calm down. You know, like we don't need to stress out about this. So you're the chill one in this situation, but not at home.
Yeah, that is true. I think I'm easier to say it's all right, take a deep breath. But at home, I don't want to take a deep breath. I want to keep going and doing.
Yeah.
She makes me calm down. But I guess that's what he was saying, basically. You know.
Yeah, I think we can't just rush the process for a lot of stuff because sometimes when we desire certain things, we might not be ready for them. So
true.
we can't speed it up. We can't cut corners.
Yes, everything happens for a reason.
My dad used to say, let things come to you.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to do that.
We're working on it.
Don't get that yet.
Hey.
We'll be back. We'll come to you in about 2 minutes.
We promise.
It's in our contract.
Hello? Hi, I think you're asking for me. Okay, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever go together.
Well, welcome to your 4 to 5. I'm Lauren Coleman here with Maddie Gardner, Eric Chilton, and Jalen Gilkey today.
All around. And don't forget to jump in on Facebook too. We got lots of jokes flying around today.
Yeah, having a good conversation. We are also staying on top of some breaking news out of Winston-Salem.
Yes, we are following that breaking news out of Winston-Salem. Maddie was just talking about Winston-Salem police say someone fired shots into their District 1 office. The suspect is in custody after exchanging gunfire with police. Police found them in the Haynes Park area. This is a developing story, and as soon as we learn more, we will update you both on air and online at WFNYnews2.com.
In the meantime, let's get you caught up with your 4 to 5 roundup. A firefighter is hurt after a fire at a chemical plant in Illinois this morning. Some neighbors reported hearing small explosions from the Chemtool facility around 7 o'clock. The area around the plant is now under a mandatory full-scale evacuation. Goodness, you can just see the smoke coming out of that plant there. People who lived in the evacuation zone were directed to schools in the area for safekeeping. The Justice Department's top national security official is resigning after the department secretly seized records from Democrats and members of the media. John Demers will leave his position by the end of next week. There are questions about what he knew about the DOJ's effort to secretly take phone data from House Democrats and reporters as part of an aggressive investigation into leaks. And today is former President Donald Trump's birthday. Trump turned 75 today and is celebrating the milestone at his resort in New Jersey. Many people are wishing the former president a happy birthday on social media. And for the first time since March 2020, Stephen Colbert will film The Late Show in front of a live studio audience. Fans are lining up outside of the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York City. The pandemic forced the show to stop filming in front of people. As part of the return, all staff and crew will be tested for COVID-19 on a regular basis, and all the roughly 450 audience members will have to show proof that they've been vaccinated against COVID-19. Masks will be optional.
States all over the country are trying to increase the number of people vaccinated for COVID-19, and last week, North Carolina introduced a vaccine lottery to give people an incentive to get their shots by giving them a chance at some extra cash. So all you have to do to enter the lottery is get a shot. If you've already done that in North Carolina, you're already entered. Those 18 will be entered to win $125,000 towards a college education. Those under 18, and the first of 4 drawings is on June 23rd. The rest of the drawings will be every other week after that. And health experts want to remind everyone the pandemic isn't over. The dangerous Delta variant, first found in India, has been found in the U.S., is now the most common in the UK, and is now causing trouble in China. Health workers and scientists there have been fighting it for the past 3 weeks. They say it could be a bigger threat than the initial coronavirus that originated in China 18 months ago. And today, Vice President Kamala Harris toured a pop-up vaccination site at a YMCA in Greenville, South Carolina. She thanked the volunteers and workers for getting their community vaccinated. Harris also encouraged them to keep talking to people and urged them to get the shot.
Of course, one of the impacts of the pandemic has been the impact on jobs. Most recently, labor shortages forced a Triad bakery to close, even though they say business is booming. Amoroso's Bakery closed its High Point location because they say they didn't have enough people to work. The High Point location has been open for 11 years. They had 24 employees before COVID, but now they're down to just 11. Manager Meredith Watson says the bakery tried to hire as they recovered from the pandemic.
Unfortunately, it was just due to labor. It had nothing to do with sales. Our sales had been great. We're just making the best with what we've got. You know, we're always hiring. You know, I've never, anytime anybody calls or anybody comes in, and we're always hiring. We're always looking for new people. We're always willing to teach.
The bakery's Greensboro location will remain open. Other businesses are also short-staffed. The North Carolina Department of Commerce says employers are posting more job openings than ever. The North Carolina Department of Unemployment Services says as of Thursday, more than 1.5 million North Carolinians have applied for unemployment benefits since the beginning of the pandemic. More than $12.1 billion has now been paid out for unemployment claims in our state since March 15th of last year, but we are starting to see the number of claims filed fall and even level out a bit. Economists say that's a sign we're on the upswing. But a new CBS poll says more Americans are optimistic about job prospects. 72% say they're optimistic about jobs in their area, and 67% are optimistic about their ability to find a new job. 81% are optimistic about businesses reopening safely, and 69% say they are optimistic about their personal finances. But when it comes to people who have jobs returning to work, the majority said they'd prefer to work completely in the workplace. Yeah, 31% say they would like to work remotely, and just 26% say they'd like to have a mixture of working from home and in the office.
The NC State baseball team punched their ticket to the College World Series in Omaha over the weekend with a late game home run. The team is made up of several triad athletes, and WFNY News 2's Jalen Gilkey spoke to a pair of coaches who know just how good some of these ball players are.
Well, for the first time since 2013, the Wolfpack are just 6 wins away from bringing home the school's first ever national championship. If all goes well, this will be the Pack's first national title in a team sport since 1983. We're not only cheering for the Pack because they're right up the road, but they also have 8 triad locals on the roster. We spoke with Landon Kimmery, coach at Northern Guilford, and Ledford coach Chris Adams about what it means to see their guys so close to reaching their dreams.
I know these guys, when they committed to NC State, that was their goal. They went to NC State to be a part of the College World Series and to get to Omaha, and it's really cool and great to see these guys get there and to see that it's come to fruition.
Northern Guilford currently has 2 players on the Wolfpack roster, junior infielder JT Jarrett, as well as redshirt sophomore pitcher Cam Crotter. Ledford Senior High also has a pair of players on the team, freshman outfielder Noah Souls and freshman pitcher Chris Villeman. Their high school coach Chris Adams was on the edge of his seat watching the Pack close the door on top-seeded Arkansas.
Great feeling. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed watching that game yesterday. You know, it was almost like, even though that game was being played in Arkansas, I felt like it was being played in my living room because I was on the edge of my seat, man, watching those kids, and especially watching Chris go in and pitch those 3 innings. It was very surreal. You know, just 2 years ago, that guy was pitching for us and, pitching in some big games for us and doing the exact same thing that I saw him do yesterday on the national stage.
Some other players on the NC State's roster are High Point Central's D'Angelo Giles, Rockingham County High's Kobe Engel, Randleman's Trey Cooper, as well as student coach Josh Pike, who went to Northern as well.
Lots of triad ties.
Yeah.
Say that fast 3 times.
That's
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, very neat stuff. So they have to play how many games to win?
Well, ideally, if they win all 6, they would only have to play 6, but it is a double elimination tournament, so it's kind of up in the air to see what happens. But if everything goes perfect, they'd play 6 games, win all 6, and come home with the national championship.
And it's long, too. That's a lot of games.
Yeah, it's a grind, but it's well worth
fun.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So this is also good news for the fans as well, because they get to see all these games.
Absolutely. It's just such an action-packed week and a half, where if you love baseball, there's not a higher level that's being played at the time, and there's not more enthusiasm, effort, and just dedication that's put into the game during those 2 weeks.
That's what I like about college sports in general, is that the heart of the game is still there. It's not about the money yet. But
not yet.
It will be, but very
And
cool.
I'm sure a lot of them will be making a lot of money.
Yeah.
They
one
will.
day if they're playing in the World Series right now.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
How cute. Okay, school, sporting events, the opening of ceremonies. We've all seen this. We've all done this, the Pledge of Allegiance, right? Something that we've done over time. Anyone ever get nervous, though, if you have to lead the Pledge of Allegiance?
It's not that, it's singing the anthem. That I would never do. But yeah, Pledge of Allegiance, I feel okay with
Yeah, I
that.
feel
I'm
okay
gonna
about that.
mess up a line, and I've said it so many times.
I know, every single time I have to lead somebody in it, I'm like,
Stage fright.
Okay, so today, Flag Day. So we're going to talk about why today is Flag Day in a minute. But first, I want to know, Pledge of Allegiance was written for, not Flag Day. What day was it written for? This was even on our Twitter today. Come on, people.
Independence Day?
It was not Independence Day.
I know you know it, Maddie.
Columbus Day. I know. All right, so recently I know, right? You're thinking to yourself why I said. Okay, I went to the Field of Honor, and they had all of these flags all around. I took pictures. They have all the flags surrounding the memorial. Each flag has a plaque giving you the history of the flag and how it all started. So we're going to start with this one here. This is called the Sons of Liberty flag, 1775. It's known as the Rebellious Stripes. The Sons of Liberty included Samuel Adams, Paul Revere, Revere, John Hancock, just to name a few. They're the ones who planned and carried out the Boston Tea Party. Okay, so then this is called the Grand Union flag. It was the unofficial flag on Independence Day, July 4th, 1776. It is considered the first flag of America. And this is pretty much what you know of today, right? June 14th, 1777, the Second Continental Congress adopted this flag, 13 red and white alternating stripes, and the stars, of course, representing the number of states. Of course, June 14th wasn't known as Flag Day.
Oh, really? It was known as the day after my birthday?
Yeah.
My mom's birthday.
I was about to say, I didn't think it was your birthday.
No, my mom's birthday. But I did hear that a teacher started Flag Day.
Right, and I've seen it identified as New York and as a Wisconsin teacher, and I'm not really sure how the history's going there.
Yeah, so either way, President Woodrow Wilson established it as a national holiday, but he didn't seal the deal, right?
No, because President Truman signed it as an act of Congress, designating June 14th as National Flag Day in 1949. Chilton, I am guessing your favorite photo with the flag is when Neil Armstrong put it on the moon.
Oh my gosh, that's top two, and Iwo Jima too. That statue, love that.
Very cool
nice
stuff.
That's good stuff.
It's not Betsy Ross's birthday or something. It's just
not
a random day.
It is a random day. It's just the day that the Second Continental Congress kind of got it all together.
It's a great day.
It's Flag Day.
It is
all you
Flag
need
Day.
to
We do
know.
have the best flag.
I agree.
Stars and the stripes.
There it is. All right, let's talk about the forecast. The winds aren't really blowing our flags around today, are they? It's kind of dead. It's calm out there. Wind's not an issue. That's not a bad thing. I mean, we see a thunderstorm or two, which we could see that today. That might kick up a few wind gusts, but overall, it's kind of a tranquil day. 83 in the Triad right now, 83 in Charlotte, 90 though in Fayetteville. Don't you just expect that down east? Just Fayetteville, it's always hot. 88 in Wilmington, 83 Myrtle Beach. Here's what we see with the hour-by-hour breakdown for us. And heading into the evening, notice that really we see a little bit a chance of that thunderstorm for about another hour or so, and then we think things will get calm and clear out a little bit. Even by midnight, we're still fairly mild at 74 degrees with a 2 a.m. temperature of 72. So we think we could possibly get down to some upper 60s for overnight lows tonight. That's probably the sweet spot for us. This was causing a problem. You see that thunderstorm just to the west of Martinsville a couple hours ago. Now it's sort of fallen apart. We're seeing Yadkin County, though, still with a good bit of lightning strike. And then now we see this severe thunderstorm warning. That's until 5:15 for Yadkin County, but that is the only cell that we see now. I will say this, they're moving pretty quickly, too, 20, 25 miles per hour. And we'll have to keep an eye on that. That could move down toward Moxville and Davie County. So we'll keep you posted if that happens in the next 30 minutes or so. Tonight, overnight low 66 degrees. Some of you may see a 68 here or there. That's kind of our range, but mostly clear. Here's your 7-day forecast. Long range, we do see some up and down with the temperatures. Not bad, though. We're in the 80s across the board except for Saturday, but 84 tomorrow for your Tuesday. Look at the rain chances all but gone. Tuesday through Saturday, it's sunny to partly cloudy. 83 Wednesday, Thursday. Now the heat builds in for your weekend. 89 Friday, 91 on Saturday. An afternoon rain or shower or storm chance comes in Sunday, Monday. Highs at 88 and 86.
Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check 4 to 5. Mic check 1, 2.
A couple's wedding plans have gone viral and have people talking. So simply put, the couple said no vaccine, no invitation, and that was the message to guests and vendors scheduled to attend their August wedding, and many of you are sounding off. So WFNY News 2's Brian Bennett has more on what they're asking for and the reactions.
Yeah, you're right, Lauren. The couple is getting married in Seattle in August, and they're basically saying no vaccine, no invite for both guests and vendors. They're even going as far as to asking for proof and vaccine cards. Now, the bold move has a lot of people chiming in online, so we're asking you on our Facebook page, would you do the same if it were your big day? So we're going to start off with Leon, who says, glad I was not invited. Bruce says, their wedding, their rules. I don't have no problem with this. I believe it's a choice. If you don't like it, don't go. Stacy says, oh, well, I just wouldn't go. Kind of selfish of them to ask people to do it. That kind of isn't their right to ask. Michael says, guess I wouldn't be RSVP into this wedding. And lastly, Chantel says, their wedding, their choice.
I would have to agree that I think that's completely up to them. That is their day. I would consider that a private event. I mean, you know, I think they can make that call if they feel like it.
I agree with that. I don't really see where the argument is here. Is their wedding, and if you don't want to show proof of vaccination, don't come, or maybe they can make it virtual for people who don't want to attend.
That's what I was going to say. So many people are streaming, you can watch from home.
Well, it just makes me think, like, when you have a newborn baby, a lot of time parents want the people who come over to visit their newborn to be vaccinated against whooping cough and things of that nature. And to me, this is the same thing. Like, it's your house, it's your wedding, it's your choice. They're paying the vendors for being there, so if the vendors have a problem with it, they can back out. I don't see any issue with this. I know people, I don't think anyone should be forced to get a vaccine if they don't want to, but no one's forcing them to come to the wedding.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. And I think everybody that wants to go to the wedding, like, they want to come, basically. So you're going to do everything in your power to kind of, you know, please the people that are asking of you to get the vaccine.
What do you think, was the majority of the comments that you saw? If you had to put it in one camp or the other, was it?
You know, it was all over, Eric. I'm not going to say
Okay.
some people were like, to each his own. Some people were like, I'm not going, peace out. And then other people were just like.
So it was kind of even with the numbers of
yeah.
That's interesting.
So, yeah.
A lot of talk on that one. I am sure, Brian. You're always finding the talkers for us.
That will continue. Check it out on Facebook. We'll be back.
It is by far my favorite story of the day. Check this one out. So when you think about being retirement age, what age comes to mind? 65, 70 maybe? Well, a woman in Michigan blew that out of the water. Eileen Weiser has worked at Northfield Lane since 1968. She never imagined that she would work there for 53 years. She's only missed 5 days.
Oh my God.
She spent half a century coordinating the leagues, running the cashier's desk, and offering bowling lessons. The bowling alley recently added modern technology, stopping Eileen from using her old typewriter and copy machine, but she does keep up with what people say about her on Facebook.
I'm reading that on Facebook now. I didn't think she would ever going to retire.
As for what she plans to do now, the 95-year-old says she hasn't figured that out yet. I bet we could probably find her at the bowling alley.
I was about to say she's probably going to be bowling, right?
She'll say, I'll take a shift when somebody calls out. Just give me a ring.
95.
I'm just impressed at how she only missed 5 days in the 50 plus years she's worked, because I know people who miss more than that in a year.
I've missed
or a
more,
month.
I've missed more than 5 days
this week.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's like, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
That's amazing.
And I think it's not even the job that she was doing. It was probably the people that she was dealing with. Like you said, like they said, she's coordinating the leagues, she's doing all the scores and everything. So it's just a lot of regulars, a lot of her friends probably coming through there. And she's just having a good time and getting paid, right?
Yeah.
I want some bowling lessons from Eileen.
Well, and if you slow down, I've talked to people that are retired. They say if you slow down, you stop. So they say you got to keep going, do something. So that's good advice for her.
I hope
think.
she gets to relax and
Seriously.
actually relaxes. I feel like she's somebody that has to stay busy.
Absolutely.
She's not relaxing.
Yeah.
She's going to have to
She's
watch.
going to still be in there telling people what to do.
She's going to have to watch some U-Day. Get her to
Yeah.
calm down.
Yeah.
That's right.
Absolutely. Coach Lamont can help her out.
That's what she needs. All right, let's take a look at our forecast, see what's going on. We get Lamont to help her out a little bit. The coach can offer some good advice for her. Let her calm down. 95, you need to rest. Just take it easy. Do what you want to do. Let's see what's going on here with the rain. I wanted to show you this one cell kind of popped up out of nowhere. That's toward the Pleasant Garden area. So at 85 and 220 region, that's kind of where we're seeing that. This is still the big one, though, just south of Yadkinville and heading down toward 801. Clemens, too, and Louisville getting a little bit of rain on the corner of the graphic here, and that is moving in their direction. So that severe thunderstorm warning runs until 5:15 for Yadkin County. Wouldn't be surprised if we didn't see that maybe extended or the range of that warning going down to the south and to the east. Here's your long-range forecast. 80s for the most part. We do have a low 90s there on Saturday, though. Look for temperatures to go to around 83 to 84 for the next 3 days. We're pretty much rain-free, we think, all the way through Saturday. Friday, Saturday gets hot, 89 and 91. Then on Father's Day, we have 88 degrees with a 30% chance of a late-day shower storm. Same story Monday, but slightly cooler at 86.
Coming up at 5:30, Dr. Deborah Grant, Chief Nursing Officer and Population Health for Cone Health, will join us to talk about.
Hey there, Brett. I'm just clipping on right now. It should be clipped for real. We're good to go. Do you need to see me outside? You're good? Okay. I need to find Eric's.
Hey, I'm headed in there in just a second. We're talking about the vaccine lottery.
Hi there, vaccine lottery, vaccine lottery.
Hi.
It's time for my 2 cents. I just got back from a week-long vacation with my family. 7 days of relaxation, quality time, and a lot of sweet memories. It went by too fast, but I'm still so grateful for every day I had with everyone. You know, there's something so refreshing about being around loved ones, especially now that we've all grown up and moved out and are rarely all together. Beach vacations are part of our family's history, from Myrtle Beach to Emerald Isle. Location has changed, our group has grown, we spend our days differently, but many things are the same. Time on the beach, in the pool, or at family dinners. Over the past year, the importance of family time has become top of mind. Because we couldn't see our loved ones as often as we normally do. Because it was a bit more stressful when we did get together. Because beach trips didn't happen. This week meant more than ever. I brought a lot of what I learned or picked up during the pandemic to the beach with me. Over the past year, I think we all kind of went back to the basics. We stayed home, focused on the little things, and appreciated moments. Because of that, I had a newfound appreciation for the slowdown that vacation brings. It allowed me to see it all through a new lens. It's always sad when vacations come to an end, but there's so much I'll remember and cherish about our family's time together this year. Who knows when we'll all be with one another again or what that will look like, but it's nice to know we'll have these memories to last until then. As you look back on and plan your trips this summer, take in each second. Enjoy the things you haven't in the past and soak in all of that quality time. That's my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
We are on top of breaking news in Winston-Salem right now on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock. Investigators confirm somebody opened fire at a Winston-Salem Police Department building. The shots were fired at the District 1 office on North Point Boulevard just about an hour ago. The shooter is in custody after a shootout with police. He was tracked down at the Haynes Park area. Authorities say the public is safe and there is no threat.
Is limited, but this is what we know.